Well, hello and welcome. My name is Miss Heard with Miss Heard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're at Season 5, Episode 240, the big 240. And I'm doing my first ever Faith Hill Miss Heard song lyric. The Miss Heard lyric is, biscuits, biscuits. And the correct lyrics is, this kiss, this kiss. I love me a biscuit. It's amazing food. And man, you can just eat it by itself, or it can use as a vehicle to sop any other food like gravy or runnings of a sunny side up egg. I love it. And this is a great example of, how misheard song lyrics I talked about way back when, 5 years ago in episode 1, where usually it diverts into two big categories. It's either sex or food. And in this case, misheard sound, it sounds like she's singing about biscuits instead of this kiss. So let's talk about it. This Kiss is a song by American country music singer Faith Hill. Gosh, we haven't seen her often now. From her third studio album called Faith. She was born Audrey Faith McGraw, because she's married to Tim McGraw. I'm going to that in a bit. She was born on September 21st, 1967. And she's known professionally as Faith Hill. So she'll be, 57 this year. She's an American country singer. She's also one of the most successful country music artist of all time. She's sold about 50 million albums worldwide, and a lot of it is when you couldn't download. You had to go to a store and drive or skateboard or walk to buy each album or record or cassette tape or CD all at one time. So let's talk about what she's done. So she has her first two albums. One is Take Me As I Am back in 1993 and 1995, and It Matters to Me. They were both successes and placed a combined 3 number ones on Billboard's country charts, quickly establishing her as country's music's top acts at that time. She achieved immense mainstream and crossover success with the album we're talking about today. There's 2 of them, Faith in 1988 and Breathe in 1999. She produced this song. It's a first international hit, This Kiss, or Biscuits, as I heard it, with her album Breathe, became one of the best-selling country albums of all time. The album was led by the huge crossover success of the songs Breathe and The Way You Love Me. Breathe saw massive sales worldwide and earned her 3 Grammy Awards. In 2001, she recorded There You'll Be from the Pearl Harbor soundtrack, and it too became an international success and nominated for an American Award. Didn't win, but it remains her best-selling single in Europe. And then in 2002, she has one album called Cry, and then 3 years later in 2005 called Fireflies, which continued her commercial success. The former spawned another crossover single, Cry, which won Hill a Grammy, and the latter produced the singles Mississippi Girl and Like We Never Loved It All, which earned additional Grammy Awards. She has won a total of 5 Grammys, 15 Academy of Country Music Awards, 6 American Music Awards, and several other awards. Her Soul to Soul 2 tour in 2006, wow, that's 18 years ago, with Tim McGraw became the highest grossing country tour of all time. And in 2001, she was named one of the 30 most powerful women in America by Ladies Home Journal. In 2009, Billboard had named her the Adult Contemporary Artist of the Decade of the 2000s, and also the 39th top artist overall. She's also, this is an interesting thing, from 2007 to 2012, she was the voice of NBC's Sunday Night Football's intro song. She does have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame back in 2019. And like I mentioned, she's been married to fellow country American singer Tim McGraw since 1996. So this year will be their, 30th? Oh, actually, no, 28th wedding anniversary. She has had recorded several duets with them. They both have 3 daughters. And they also both own a place they called Goat Key, but it looks like K, but that's how it's pronounced, which they unofficially named Lily de Angeles, a private island in the Bahamas where he has shared photographs on Instagram of himself fishing. In her early life, she was born in Ridgeland, Mississippi, north of Jackson, Mississippi. She was actually adopted. This is an aha for me. I did not know this. She was adopted as an infant and named Audrey Faith Perry and was raised in the nearby town of Star, 20 miles southeast of Jackson. Her adoptive parents, Edna and Ted Perry, raised her with their 2 biological sons in a devout Christian environment. She started singing at a little age of 3 at the Star Baptist Church. It was apparent that she had some vocal talent and that her public appearance at a 4-H luncheon when she was 7. And then in 1976, a few days before her 9th birthday, she attended a concert by none other than Elvis Presley at the State Fair Coliseum in Jackson, which impressed her deeply. And then during her teenage years, she became a member of the Steele Family Gospel Quartet, with whom she performed regularly at area churches of all denominations. At 17, Faith Hill formed a band that played at local rodeos. And then she graduated from McLaurin Attendance Center in 1986 and briefly attended college at Hines Junior College, now Hines Community College in Raymond, Mississippi. At times, she sang for prisoners at the Hines County Jail, her song of choice being Amazing Grace. Then at age 19, she dropped out of college to move to Nashville and pursue her dream of being a country singer. Thank God she did. Did you know in her early days in Nashville, she auditioned to be a backup singer for Reba McEntire, but failed to secure the job? But here's one of these examples where at that moment she was probably crushed. But years later, we find out in 1991, the singer who beat out Hill for the job was unfortunately killed in a plane crash with 6 other members of Reba's band. Isn't that chilling? Had she gotten that job, she may not be here today. And then after selling t-shirts, a stint of that, she became secretary at a music publishing firm. Here's where it comes. Here's where she gets discovered. Faith Hill also landed a job at a local McDonald's restaurant franchise where she disliked it immensely. She said, quote unquote, fries, burgers, cash register. I did it all. I hated it, she said, but it probably humbled her when she got her big success. Then in 1988, she married music publishing executive Daniel Hill, not to be confused with musician Dan Hill. And I mentioned him, this Canadian musician Dan Hill, just about 3 episodes ago on episode 237 with the 98 Degrees misheard. He's known for his song, Can We Try Just a Little More Passion, duet with Vonda Shepard. And he also did another song that I love too, Sometimes When We Touch. Not the same Dan Hill. She was married to the American Daniel Hill, but just had to bring that up. How she got discovered. I love this song. So a co-worker heard Faith Hill singing to herself one day, and soon the head of the music publishing company was encouraging her to become a demo singer for the firm. She supplemented this work by singing backup vocals for songwriter Gary Burr, who often performed his new songs at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe, very famous place. During one of those performances, Martha Sharp, this is where, you hear about this in Hollywood, but it happened to her. She was an executive from Warner Brothers Records, was in the audience, and it was impressed with Hill's voice, began the process of signing her to a record contract. Plus, she's not hard on the eyes. Faith Hill is gorgeous. Shortly after the release of her album, she and Daniel Hill unfortunately divorced in 1994. That's why she was Faith Hill. Now back to the song that we're talking about in the misheard, This Kiss. It was written by Beth Nielsen Chapman, Robin Lerner, and Annie Roboff, and produced by Hill and Byron Gallimore. It was released on February 23rd, 1998. Wow, 26 years ago, as the album's first single. The song became a crossover hit. I remember it because I was like, isn't this country? But it was on the pop charts and reaching number 1 in the American and Canadian country charts and peaking with the top 10 on both the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. Outside of the U.S., it reached number 4 in Australia, number 13 in the U.K., and number 24 in Canada, which also was charted within the top 30 in Austria and Sweden. So she's doing good over the pond, right? This Kiss was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards for Best Female Country Vocal Performance and Best Country Singer, losing both to Canadian singer, crossover artist to Shania Twain with You're Still the One. So she got nominated but just didn't win. Dang it, Shania Twain outdid her on that one. Have you seen the music video? So when you look it up on YouTube, it was actually uploaded way back when, on November 17th, 2009. And since then, we've seen about 18.1 million views, and I'm probably one of them. The music video is directed by a Stephen Goldman. He's done many videos. He actually did a horror movie as well. Interesting. He has passed away. That was sad. I found that out. Features Hill in a colorful fantasy-like sequence. She is seen swinging on a nectarine, jumping from flower to flower, and riding flying bees and butterflies. It's like, oh, is this something sexual? In another flower, it follows a young couple kissing till adulthood, which is a little awkward because they start out as like, I wouldn't say toddlers, but like grade school, and they're kissing, but not like kissing on the cheek, but like kind of like kissing on the lips. It's a little, like now I'm looking at 24's eyes. I was like, they should have started them with kissing on the cheek, and then when they go to teenage and they can be a little bit more risque. But it was weird seeing like 6-7-year-olds kissing on the lips and like holding each other passionately. It was a little weird. The video features extensive use of CGI, so computer-generated technology. And back in, 2009, 2009. That was pretty big. It won the Video of the Year award at the 1998 Country Music Award. It did well. At that time, Hill was pregnant with their second daughter, Maggie, and she was forced to have to change in costume. So you'll notice in a lot of the sequences, she's in these really small sheath dresses, tiny waist, and then there's a couple where she's laying down in a black, beautiful dress. You can see a little bit of her baby bump she's hiding, so they had to figure that out. In her CMT video bio, she revealed that the clothing she tried on and approved for the video just days prior to the shoot was already too small because of her pregnancy when she arrived on the set. A few months after the video release, Hill actually, who was further along in her pregnancy, performed the song live at the 1998 Academy of Country Music Awards while dancing in a giant flower in the center stage as a tribute. That's so sweet. Can you imagine Maggie now? She's like, oh my God, I was in my mom's belly when she was singing This Kiss or Biscuits. I wonder if she liked biscuits when she was pregnant. Who knows? Anyway, this is a great misheard song lyric. If you have any suggestions like this, always send it to our social media sites like X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or just send me, little old me, misheard song lyrics, a email at misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye!